Tell you how the World Health Organization is urging countries not to panic, but rather prepare for the new Omicron variant of COVID-19.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Medical Association wants the new variant outbreak considered a public health emergency.
And making great strides in journalism, well, we have Media General's Portia Gabor being awarded the best journalist in disability reporting. We'll tell you all about that.
On the international front, at least 23 people drowned after a bus traveling to a wedding plunged into a flooded river in Kenya. Stay with us here on News 360 for the details of these and many other stories, including sports and entertainment. Remember, we're also live on DSTV channel 279.
Now for our first story, we have to straight away look at this because the World Health Organization is saying countries should not panic but rather prepare for the new Omicron variant of COVID-19. Now, reports suggest Omicron has been found in close to 40 countries across the world.
It is still unclear if the highly mutated variant is more transmissible or better able to evade vaccines. Early data reported by scientists in South Africa, where the variant was first detected, suggests Omicron may evade some immunity to COVID-19, although experts caution the analysis is not definitive. Citing data from South Africa, it could possibly become the dominant strain worldwide, although this is hard to predict. Delta currently accounts for 99% of cases globally. Countries the world over have announced travel bans against southern African countries in the wake of Omicron's first detection. U.S. officials have made it compulsory for all international travelers to the U.S. to take a COVID test not more than 1 day before travel. It comes after authorities tightened U.S. travel rules in light of the variants. Omicron has now been detected in at least 6 U.S. states, including Hawaii, where officials said the case had no recent travel history. India has also reported its first 2 cases of the Omicron variant. Ghana reported its first 2 cases from 2 foreign nationals on November 21, after which the Noguchi Memorial Institute updated the figures to 34 after sequencing 100 samples between November 21 and 25. The emergence of the new variants comes as European countries are already grappling with a surge in infections. On Thursday, Germany announced major restrictions on the unvaccinated, declaring that only those inoculated or who had recently recovered from the virus will be allowed in restaurants, cinemas, and many shops.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Medical Association wants the Ghana Health Service to consider the new Omicron variant of COVID-19 as a public health emergency. General Secretary of the Association, Dr. Titles Bayo, in an interview with TV3, advocated stricter testing regimes at the country's borders as the country rolls out a mandatory vaccination program in December.
If you look at our figures, we are doing pretty well. Our cases are dropped to the point that we thought we were going to have a very easy Christmas, have fun, life back to virtually normal, because there were some days we were recording 0 active cases until this Omicron issue came in. For now, the data available is that the Omicron is a bit more transmissible. The science suggests it may evade the immune system, but this is yet to be confirmed. So what I would say is that even in the absence of the Omicron, with less than 10% of the population vaccinated, the Christmas festivities automatically was going to lead to an increased rise in cases. So our best bet is to take the opportunity from the government that we should all be vaccinated in the month of December. If by the time we are celebrating Christmas and New Year, we have like 70 to 80% of the population vaccinated, that is excellent. And then we are sure that our celebrations will not lead to another wave of the COVID. The advent of Omicron as a nation, we have to check our borders well. And I think they are doing that, and I commend the government for that. They should screen everybody coming in, do the sequencing. The community surveillance should go on with sequencing as well. And we should deploy IT again. In the Netherlands recently, a couple tested positive and decided to travel out of the country. But because they are tracking everybody, they picked them up and could not allow them to travel. So if we use all the information available to us, we'll be able to get people to self-isolate if they are positive so they don't expose the entire public to danger.
And alongside, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa wants Africa to speed up the manufacturing of its own vaccines in the COVID-19 fight, as well as for future pandemics. He made the observation at the Ghana-South Africa Business Forum in the capital, Accra.
The fastest and most effective way to vaccinate our population is if we are allowed to manufacture our own vaccines and at the same time build our own domestic pharmaceutical manufacturing capabilities. As African leaders, we have to adopt strategies for a resilient recovery. And one of the best ways of doing so is if we manufacture our own vaccines. And this is where we will go beyond President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo's proposal that we should stop being recipients of aid. We should actually rely on our own capabilities as Africans. And it is precisely for this reason that we have raised this issue, that manufacturing of vaccines should be based on the African continent. We have 1.3 billion people who should be vaccinated, and the vaccines should be made here and no longer be imported from outside of our continent.
President Akufo-Addo at the same event assured the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa of Ghana's support towards the continent manufacturing its own vaccines, having already taken a leading role.
The fight you have been leading for our own domestic production of vaccines, and the call you have made for some emergency treatment of the TRIPS agreement as far as intellectual property rights to manufacturing is concerned for. It's one that we have our strong support. We ourselves have made the decision that we cannot, in the next round, and we're told that we have entered the era of pandemics, that the next round of the pandemics, that we're going to be dependent again on people who hoard vaccines when the world needs them, and that we are determined this time round to develop our own capacity to. We have agreed to set up a National Vaccine Institute, which is going to lead the process in Ghana. And to that extent, we are in full support of the position you have taken, and we are hoping that, in fact, we can work together in these areas for the future.
As well, we need some family planning.
Now, in other areas of health, some 300 million people globally suffer from one rare disease or the other. Now, Aisha Yakubu Khalid tells the story of the Donko family who have 3 of their children suffering from a rare disease, which so far has left them disabled.
7-year-old Charity, 12-year-old Desmond and 19-year-old Jonathan suffer from mucopolysaccharidosis, a group of inherited conditions in which the body is unable to properly break down long chains of sugar molecules that are found throughout the body, and as a result lead to a variety of health problems.
Government to help this child, or even it is not my child alone, all the child who their condition is like this, so that if anything, they should get some access for them So that in terms of financial affairs, because other than that, my pay alone cannot take good care of.
Rare diseases pose significant challenges not only to persons living with them, but also to those who care for them.
It is not easy for me to take good care of this child, but I don't have any help from anywhere. And train me, or my small salary I got a month, that I use it for them, and I take good care of them. They are all at school.
On the sidelines of the first African Summit on Rare Diseases, Executive Director of Rare Diseases Ghana Initiative, Samuel Wiafe, appealed for government support to deal with the increasing numbers.
We've seen a family give birth to one child and then the second child is affected. We begin to ascribe to all kinds of meanings. All of these begin to make it difficult because the stigma, diagnosing is the biggest thing that we found that was the challenge, and it was from first the medical community not knowing much about the conditions, as well as the infrastructure to diagnose not being available. While we fix the system, we are training many health professionals, we are training genetic counselors in the system, then it's getting better.
Chairperson of Rare Diseases International, Doreen Wongrenga, wants persons living with rare diseases to be accepted and treated with care in the societies they find themselves.
Inequality and discrimination are actually challenges that happen even in the wealthiest countries. So people living with rare diseases are often the ones that are undiagnosed and the most neglected in the system because they're not recognized. But I think, as we all say, just because you have a disease that is difficult to diagnose, affects only a few people, you have the same rights as everyone else.
The first African Summit on Rare Diseases was on the theme promoting learning and exchange on the state of rare diseases in Africa. Let's now go to the Ashanti region, where the region has been experiencing unannounced power cuts in recent times. Now, Ashanti regional correspondent Benjamin Edu has been finding out its toll on businesses, particularly in Kumasi, the capital.
Many industrial firms now rely on generators. Production cost, according to those who spoke to us, has increased and customers will now have to bear the brunt.
We haven't quite a number of our machines going down, especially on the plastic side of the business. On the metal side, we are able to manage with our generators, which gives us backup power. But in terms of the plastic industry, anytime the power drops, that means virtually everything in the line goes bad.
Moreover, there is no plan to guide the consumers. Asafo is a printing hub and the effect on the business is obvious.
If the power doesn't come, if in case we have used our own power, like generator, whatever it is, that is also part of it. It costs us. It's not like we will have to go and buy the fuel. All those things are costs involved. If in case we have the main power source, it gives us the full power to make sure that our machines are working effectively.
A cold store operator, Ifwa Oforiwa, fears running into losses.
6 years in the and I'm called back on Yakotugui, Yamaka Befako Tugu at Seronum. It's a canny do some of the Abamum. It's a sre, Nanado said, Omoye, Macaniano, Enina Somaye.
6 years ago, all our frozen meat went bad and had to be disposed of. The Dumso is back, so we plead with President Akufo-Addo to address the problem.
Both Gridco and ECG have been explaining the current power challenges.
There are shortfalls in Kumasi, and now because the line from Abuazi coming from the west to Kumasi is no more there, we are forced to supply more power from the east. And that means that we are straining the transmission lines in the east, and sometimes there are overloads. So with the loads on the lines, it makes the voltage in Kumasi, especially during peak load, go down.
The Pando Range, Danyi Block and Adigbo Tonu Forest Reserves are being threatened by illegal logging. A total of some 2,900 teak, kodum and rosewood trees have all been felled by illegal loggers within the last few months. Now, stakeholders are blaming the situation partly on the inaction of the Forestry Commission.
The Kpando Range, Dai Block and Adigbotong Forest Reserve stretch along the Volta Lake. Apart from adding beauty to the landscape, the reserves play vital roles of serving as a buffer and shelter over the lake. However, these important roles are being lost through illegal logging. Some unscrupulous chainsaw operators have targeted tree species including rosewood, odum, neem and teak. The illegal loggers have also established sawmill inside the reserve at Adigbotong. The activities, according to the indigenes, takes place in the full glare of forestry officials. The youth, with support from chiefs, have therefore threatened to fight the perpetrators and protect the reserves if those paid to preserve them would not act.
The forest serves us in many ways. It facilitates rainfall and helps us to protect the lake. However, illegal loggers have destroyed everything. Worst of all, the Forest Commission officials care less about the situation. We call for urgent intervention.
The Adigbo Reserve, for instance, was reportedly started by one Samuel Asabute, a native of Adigbotong in 1971, by planting trees along the Volta Lake.
Why would authorities engage people to destroy trees planted many years ago, at the time we are being told to plant more trees? The chainsaw operator claims he has secured permit from the commission to cut down the trees. We need explanation, else we shall fight to protect what is ours.
Now, the Gender Ministry is to remove 16,000 children of foreign descent from the streets of the country. The caretaker minister, Cecilia Dapa, who made this known during a press briefing in Accra, said engagements are ongoing to adopt a human-face approach.
We have people who have traveled from neighboring countries to live on our streets, and we are looking at this holistically to make sure we come out with human-face solutions. I think we've engaged experts on this. We've had stakeholder meetings, and we will continue at the appropriate time. We'll put our solutions out and gather more improvements. The number 16,000. To put the countries out, I'm reluctant now because we are trying to engage their missions to see whether indeed they are from those countries. So I will not preempt that exercise by putting a list of countries out. But we know, we suspect, and we are dealing with that.
Now, everyone deserves to have access to healthcare services urgently required, but due to financial hardship, many are unable to pay, holding on until a philanthropist intervenes. Now, Portia Gabor in Wealth for Health, a yet-to-be-aired TV3 feature, explores how hundreds of people, especially the poor, are just scraping through life without funds, but seeking healthcare at the same time.
I first met Amos in March this year at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. He was suffering from chronic kidney disease. His family scraped through to pay for dialysis, which cost 360 cedis per session thrice a week. This translates to 1,080 cedis a week and 52,160 cedis a year.
My parents they are forcing to get some money, but still they haven't get nothing yet, so I need your help.
He died less than 6 months after meeting him. Amos is not the only one. I interviewed Fidaus in August 2020. She needed money for treatment for urine incontinence.
Me go school and I'm
Before we could even raise money for her, she also died because her parents did not have money to pay for a lab test during an emergency. Her family is distraught. So did Sarah Ankra. She did not get $30,000 for kidney transplants and died. Collins was buried on Saturday. He had bone cancer. Unfortunately, he could not raise $25,000 for treatment. The list of persons who died while awaiting funds for treatment because the NHIS does not cover their ailments goes on and on and on.
It's a very disturbing trend and a very worrying situation, but it's not new to us at the GMA. Doctors meet this day in, day out, where for some people of a certain social standing, some disease or diagnosis simply is a death sentence, because if you squeeze them, nothing comes out. And sometimes it's so frustrating. And most doctors will use their money to support with minor things, but when you get something that's running into thousands of dollars, then it becomes like a death sentence, because they'll contact family, they'll do everything, and nothing comes out. But it's a reflection of what our society has become. Unfortunately, there are no safety nets.
Kofi and his family have traveled all the way from Kintampo to the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital in Accra. Their first time to seek medical help for their daughter with a heart problem. Even money to feed themselves is a challenge. Kofi tells me they've sold all their property. It's risky to appeal for funds on television because his debtors will contact him. He first issues an apology to them. He needs 800 cedis for a scan, an amount he cannot afford. He needs to feed his daughter. While he's away, his wife resorts to prayer for God to intervene in her daughter's situation. Fortunately, the TV3 newsroom raised the money needed for the scan. In November, I took Kofi and his family to the Akai Clinic for the scan.
Danaya has successfully undergone her scan here at Akai House. Thankfully, Akai House decided to do this for free due to her condition. We are hopeful that from this place would go to the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital for further diagnosis from her medical doctor.
Fortunately, Akai Clinic decided to bear the full cost of the scan. Kofi is happy. He can use the rest of the money raised to feed his family while in Accra. The increase in people resorting to GoFundMe, the media and total strangers has a lot to say about the country's healthcare system. Some Ghanaians are finding it difficult to pay for critical, life-saving surgeries and treatments. If you have good health, do not take it for granted.
This is 200 million. Me need 200 million. Me ba mu yejuma. Me nebi.
Portia Gabo, TV3 News, Accra.
Well, make sure to catch the full documentary Wealth for Health by Portia Gabo on November 7th at 9:30 p.m. right here on The Assignment on TV3. But we're still staying on Portia Gabo as she has been awarded Best Journalist in Disability Reporting by Media Capacity Building Initiative for reporting on disability, MacBird. She was presented with a cash prize and a citation and other scholarship packages at an awards and dinner for the Maiden MacBird Follows in Accra.
In all, 26 distinguished journalists from various media houses who report on disability issues were nominated for the awards, with 3, Portia Gabo, Peter Kwao Adato, and Sarah Apenkro Paku from Media General. 4 fellows were adjudged winners. The best journalist living with disability was awarded Paul Anoma Kodye of ETV Ghana. Daniel Abugri Anyoriga of City TV placed 3rd in the Reporting on Disability Award, while Prosper Kwame Kwaso of the Ghana News Agency came 2nd. Media General's Portia Gabo received the ultimate award as the best journalist for reporting on disability. The U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Stephanie Sullivan, lauded the initiative and gave an assurance of continuous support towards its progress.
And to promote overall professionalism and ethics among journalists reporting on people with disabilities or any other marginalized community. Please take these lessons to heart. If you, as members of the media, don't report about marginalized people and communities, who will? How will Ghanaians become aware of and understand the challenges their neighbors face?
Deputy Information Minister Fatimatu Abubakari pledged government's commitment towards an increase in the Disability Fund. The Media Capacity Building Initiative for Reporting on Disability, MACBIRD, is a yearly TV initiative in partnership with the U.S. Embassy, the National Center for Disability Journalism, and the Ghana Journalists Association.
And correctively, the documentary of Portia will be aired this very Tuesday that we're talking about, the 7th of December. Now, a self-styled prophet at Anyenyinem in the Kwabre East municipality of the Ashanti region is in the grips of the police after allegedly shooting 2 persons. The victims, who are in critical condition, have since been admitted at the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital in Kumasi. We'll bring you a report by Benjamin Naidu.
The 41-year-old self-styled prophet allegedly shot his brother-in-law and a woman who had come for counseling in his house at Anyenyinem on Saturday, December 4. According to a neighbor who would only speak on condition of anonymity, said he heard the gunshot after the suspect's wife had threatened to pack out of her matrimonial home. Heated exchange of words between the suspect and his brother-in-law resulted in the firing of the gun. The victims are currently at the Accident and Emergency Center of the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. Some residents who spoke to TV3 said they are now living in fear because of the shooting incident.
We are afraid to sleep at night. We are unable to trace the wife and family of the pastor. We plead with the landlord to investigate potential tenants before renting out an apartment.
The pastor and his landlord have been arrested to assist in police investigations. The police declined to speak to the news team.
All right, so we have to go for a break. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories right here.
I'm going to interview Zuzum right here in my house. Hey!
Look up there. Why are you using inferior pen?
It was a mistake. I no check.
Akrobetu, I'm going to knock you out.
I know, sir.
You deserve quality.
Don't make mistakes. Stop!
You did the right thing.
When you are going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury acrylic paint. No be any painting be painted.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion.
My name is Kanita Abdurrahman and I'm coming from Tema Community 25 and I won 10,000 Ghana cedis and I'm so excited about that. I'm going to invest it into my business.
95,000 plus 1,000 plus 1,000. I'm a do 5,000 Ghana cedi.
I won 2,000 Ghana cedis.
Oh, come here, me.
I'm a proud winner of a 1,000 Ghana cedi in the ongoing Airtel Tigo Tugumiso promo.
Tugumiso.
Airtel Tigo. Life is simple.
Is that not your wife?
Every time your children are falling sick, you don't have money.
Stop, everyone!
Baby.
Stop.
What's setting me up for tonight? You know I like that sweet-scented insecticide spray. You know, little bit of the porch. Now the be up in the living room hall. Bedroom what you hear? Me love you, me baby.
Although you're dead.
Of course, I take very good care of my wife and children, so I always win. Saga Walaka. If you want to protect your family against mosquitoes, there's still this sweet-scented perfume coil now. I repel mosquitoes. I know a man who say baby. And the spray, also sweet-scented. It kills all crawling and flying insects. Heaven insecticide. Oh, sharp no. Prevention is always better than Mount Sanka or Heaven insecticide spray. And in the coil, if you say heaven dear,
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the
We were totally crushed when our child was diagnosed with cancer.
We knew we just couldn't afford the treatment. And then you came to our rescue through the Camel Antiseptic Liquid because we care initiative.
Join us again to fight childhood cancer. All you have to do is to buy Camel Antiseptic Liquid, and we will use 10 pesos to support the Because We Care initiative to help a child with cancer. Give 10 pesos, give hope. This advert is FDA approved.
I love football. Football can be a dirty game, on or off the pitch. Even when I'm trying to score at a party, stains find a way of tracking me down. But I don't worry at all, because I have Cleasoft. Use new Cleasoft 360 Deep Clean, a unique formula with active ingredients and enzymes that gets rid of all stubborn stains and leaves your clothes smelling wonderful.
Cleasoft, my favorite.
Cleasoft 360 Deep Clean, clean all.
There are some moments that last forever because they happen only once. Like your very first day, your first day of school, your first successful bike ride. What's your child's next milestone? Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture is here to ensure they smile through it all. Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture has been keeping children smiling for more than a decade by relieving them from gastric pain, flatulence, minor digestive upset, and teething discomfort. Now, Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture. Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture is manufactured and distributed by Ernest Chemists Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Welcome back to News 360. Now, Chief Executive Officer of Oak Farms, Portia Ejeyeboah, has urged government to move beyond words and the quest to get more young people into agriculture. Being a female and a youth in Agric, she says urging young people to venture into agriculture without the right support system is an exercise in futility. She spoke to Alfredo Kante in a yet-to-be-aired interview on Business Focus.
For the past 5 years, I was incurring more or less loss and not even breaking even. And so it's been challenging in terms of finance for the project. And so as a young lady, I have to work and inject my income into the farms. I also get support from families and relatives and people who actually believe in my vision and dreams. And so that's how we've come by to be able to get to where we are. There are quite other challenges as a female, especially with the labor force that we work with. Most of the times, our farming system is such that it's predominantly occupied by less literate people or uneducated people. I think it's more depends on the support systems of our policies, of government, and so many things, because the more we get these support systems in place, the easier and the flexibility we have, even when we encounter some risk, and the financial institution will be there to support us.
So that's the reality of young people or the youth in agriculture in this country, especially at a time when lots of young people in this country are being encouraged to explore agribusiness or agriculture. as a way of addressing the unemployment situation in the country. With the average age of a farmer in this country being about 55 years, with life expectancy being between 55 and 65 years, and a teeming youthful population, as was revealed in the National Population and Housing Census, a lot needs to be done in terms of commitment to ensure that young people get the interest, and that interest sustained in agriculture. From the University of Ghana farms, where the AP Oak and Oak Foundation Limited farms are located. My name is Alfred Okansi for TV3 News.
And after we'll have this full interaction on Business Focus, and that will be at 6 p.m. tomorrow. That's Monday. Now, the agricultural sector has also lost its #1 place as the backbone of Ghana's economy. Stanley Niblewu in the following report explores the underlying factors.
According to the 2022 controversial budget presented in Parliament by the Minister for Finance and Economic Planning, Ken Ofori-Atta, agriculture, which was once the backbone of the country's economy, has now been overtaken by industry and the services sector. Agriculture now contributes 20.6% to the country's gross domestic product. This phenomenon is hinged on multiple factors, including climate change, high cost of credit, increased petroleum products and farm implements, as well as lack of irrigation facilities that will enable farmers engage in all-year-round farming. For the farmers, if this trend continues, it is going to impact negatively on the country's food production. Head of programs at the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Dr. Charles Nyaba, throws more light on their plight.
The price increases have led to increase in charges on mechanization services, agro inputs, transportation of farm produce, cost of agro processing, and irrigation services. Apart from the direct cost of fuel prices on food production, the impact of fuel price hikes on general cost of living for farmers has become unbearable, and the PFAG expect that the government will, among other things, provide some interim strategies in the 2022 budget that can cushion smallholder farmers to continue producing much-needed food crops to guarantee the food security of the country.
Already, hike in price of cereals and other foodstuff on the market is a reflection of the challenges facing the agricultural sector. Farm implements such as hoe and cutlass, which are common tools farmers use, have all seen astronomical price increase on the market. With the implementation of the government's Planting for Food and Jobs program, the country's food production is expected to improve, but this will become a mirage if other implements that the farmers need to work with are not made available. Stanley Niblewu, TV3 News, Accra.
The National Service Scheme is partnering both the private and public institutions to create entrepreneurship and employable skills among service personnel. The move, according to the Executive Director of SERS Sibintri, is to help reduce the unemployment rate through youth job opportunities.
Even though the National Service Scheme is a means of introducing the youth to the working environment, not many of the service personnel get employed, with the rest joining the long list of unemployed youth. To address the national challenge, the National Service Secretariat is introducing new models of entrepreneurship and innovation in partnership with both state and private institutions. The models include the Greenhouse Project with Agri-Impact, Digital Skills and Entrepreneurship Project with Ghana Technology Lab, the Literacy Education and Financial Entrepreneurship Skills with Stanbic Bank, and the Venture Building Program for Entrepreneurs Project with the University of Professional Studies, Accra, UPSA, and InnoHub.
If these two brains comes together, you'll be able to come out with an ideas that will go a long way to solve the problem. Why can't UPSC support us, partner with us, for a lot of our graduates to be retrained, then export into those Asian countries to go and work? At the end of the day, we will be getting our foreign currency. We will be getting the money right now. So there are a lot of things that we can do together.
The signing of the Memorandum of Understanding on a Venture Building Program for Entrepreneurs project sealed the deal between the National Service Secretariat and the University of Professional Studies, UPSA. The Venture Building Program for Entrepreneurs project will train national service personnel for a period of 12 months in agribusiness and other sectors.
And then maybe we will have to respond to you as soon as possible next week. As an interim, I will chair the committee so that I can sign the letter and it comes to you next week so that we take advantage of what you have brought on board and it will be good to go.
The program will be hosted by the Faculty of Management Studies at UPSA with 15 national service personnel, 6 in agribusiness and 9 in other sectors.
Well, we have to go for a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the latest headlines in sports.
UMB was established in 1972 as the premier bank for the corporate and private sector in Ghana. From our very beginning, as the only Ghanaian bank serving all categories of businesses, we set a standard for excellence and innovation over the past 45 years. We've built a financially healthy and strong bank, demonstrated our commitment to our customers and to growing businesses, and exhibited originality and innovation at every turn. At UMB, our focus is built around people, service, products and technology. These are the key to our present success and our future triumphs. At UMB, we're poised to make a difference not only with our customers, but also in the banking industry. We invite you to share in our future. Our future starts now with you.
The show was a jar or bar anyone conquering dim.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria. Lufat. Lufat.
In Jija, woman malaria and kawan to them. Lufat, a malaria drop a cup.
And now you may kiss the bride.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And I Lufat. Lufat, a 2 malaria sententem.
FDA, I just saw a dead in Kratway. I just say, yeah. I will not know cause pain promotion. Go, Madden. Oh, say Barcelona.
Vamos, Sevilla. 10 of you are going to Spain with your partners to enjoy a VIP La Liga experience,
including a stay at a plush hotel, boat cruises, city tours, and more.
Just buy any sachet of Gino, Pomo, or Gino Pepper and Onion, or Gino Max. Look for a code inside the sachet or tray. Dial the short code to *161* in a code hash and start accumulating points.
The more your points,
the bigger your win. Take it to Barcelona, Spain.
Flat screen TV sets,
PS5,
washing machine,
La Liga original jerseys,
footballs and caps,
smart mobile phones and free call credits can also be won bi-weekly.
Accumulate more points
to win more prizes.
Spain promotion.
This advert is FDA approved.
Sports segment is brought to you by
Kel Kids Toothpaste,
Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG.
It's time for Sports on News 360. I am Aniela Alute. We start off on the continent, and it is rather unfortunate news for Ghana Premier League champions Accra Hearts of Oak, who have been served a 4-0 defeat to JS Saoura of Algeria in the second leg of the CAF Confederation Cup playoffs. The 2-0 advantage secured in the first leg proved insufficient for the Phobians, who were hoping to make it into the group stage of the competition. The result means that Accra Hearts of Oak are out of the CAF Confederation Cup. Proceeding to the Ghana Premier League, Kumasi Asante Kotoko have suffered their first defeat of the season at the hands of King Faisal, a major highlight of which was a hat-trick from Zubairu Ibrahim.
Julian Nunu whistles and King Faisal will kick off this game here. Good play from King Faisal, now moving dangerously into Kotoko territory. This can be dangerous.
And a fortuna, which are powerful. Let's have a salad, it tastes good. And a panantary creamer. 4 box, we so can see oats, na cremitino. Yawa and a spaghetti. Talia papa B. Mansunin Sijadu Re. Nafa and a spaghetti the goo. Who and a pataliano are you ready for watching on you with stew. So I no pa no so
Dem Deruboyi FBA Ashishim Ajatu.
Oh really? So how are you going to make all of that happen? Come and I'll show you.
Step into success. Enter the Republic Bank digital space where you have the choice to get more out of life. Download the app Republic Mobile. No longer count numbers. Set a proxy. Use that to make payments. Simple. Bank anywhere at any time. Use Republic Online to check your investment balance and link your existing account. It's that easy. Bank on the go. Get the one account online and enjoy competitive interest rates. Relax with our digital banking suite. Republic USSD *414#, Republic Online and Republic Mobile. Download the app. Republic Bank, we are the one for you.
My name is Kanita Abdurrahman and I'm coming from Tema Community 25 and I won 10,000 Ghana cedis and I'm so excited about that. I'm going to invest it into my business.
Nachi 5,000 plus 1,000 plus 1,000. I'm a do 5,000 Ghana cedi. I won 2,000 Ghana cedis. Oh, Ngwini, Akpenu, come here me.
I'm a proud winner of a 1,000 Ghana cedi in the ongoing Airtel Tigo Tugumiso promo.
Tugumiso.
Airtel Tigo. Life is simple.
The news segment is brought to you by Vodafone, Awake Purified Drinking Water.
In entertainment news tonight, veteran Ghanaian gospel trio, Daughters of Glorious Jesus, Uncle Ato and Ora Jr. have been honored for their outstanding compositions that have inspired many and helped propagate the gospel for years at the Stars in Worship concert in Accra. Founder and leader of the House of Miracles Ministries, Prophet Samson Martin, called on other religious institutions to support gospel musicians whose songs have been widely used in their churches.
For years, the House of Miracles Stars in Worship has assembled top gospel stars, music lovers, and other top public figures to worship for a life-changing experience. The 2021 edition also saw a huge turn-up as the event hosted gospel trio, Daughters of Glorious Jesus, Uncle Ato, Ora Jr., among other great gospel talents. Member of Parliament for Medina, Francis Xavier Sosu, also graced the stage. Founder and leader of the House of Miracles Ministries, Prophet Samson Martin, said the 11th edition of the event was to honor and celebrate outstanding veteran gospel musicians whose works have inspired many.
There are people who God has given talent, gift, to write songs for us to sing in churches. You know, so I organized this Stars in Worship to appreciate the gift of God. I believe that everybody's a star. So when we celebrate or when we worship with the stars who are already manifesting their gift, I believe that iron sharpens iron and everybody, your star will shine.
He again called on other religious institutions to support gospel musicians whose songs have been widely used in their churches.
About 90% or 95% of pastors have never written any song before. But we are always singing these songs and we think that it's normal. I believe that we need to appreciate the gift, somebody's talent. So the whole issue is about appreciating talent, and especially our gospel musicians.
Daughters of Glorious Jesus and Uncle Ato were honored on the 9th, but sensational gospel artist Owari Jr. received the topmost honor. The Afisese singer was presented with a brand new car and 25,000 cedis for his ministry and contributions to the work of God.
Owari Jr. receives a brand new car.
It's an honor, and in his time he makes all things beautiful. People must support we, the gospel musicians, that are lifting the banner of God high. And I believe the Lord will use his servant to be a blessing unto my fellow musicians. So on behalf of all the gospel musicians in Ghana, I want to say honor to God, and I believe the Lord will help us to accomplish his will.
Let's bring you the latest stories making headlines on the international front.
At least 23 people have drowned after a bus traveling to a wedding plunged into a flooded river in Kenya. Video footage shows the bus was swept away after the driver tried to cross fast-flowing water over a bridge in the Enzui River. The bus had been hired to transport church choir members. 4 of the dead were children, and at least 12 people have been rescued, local reports say. However, it is unclear how many people were in the bus at the time. The driver was not familiar with the route and the bridge over the river in the Mingwi, Ketu County. Local news sites The Standard reports. The Pope has denounced narrow self-interest and nationalism over the way European countries treat migrants. Speaking on the Greek island where he met dozens of migrants, Pope Francis said they were being used for political propaganda. He urged focus on the causes of migration, such as forgotten wars, instead of punishing those who feel their effects. And he criticized the building of walls to keep people out. The latest travel rule changes are a case of shutting the stable door after the horse has bolted. A scientist advising the UK government has said. Professor Mark Woolhouse said the new rules had come too late to make a material difference to a potential wave of the Omicron variant in the UK. The changes include pre-departure tests for people arriving in the UK and Nigeria going on the travel red list. Number 10 said the changes were due to a rise in the travel-linked Omicron cases.
My name is Roland Walker.
And I am Aisha Yakubu Ahalid. Mentor X is up next. Please stay with us.
In a world where you can be anything, who will you become? When you can go anywhere and never be alone, how far will you go? When your voice can reach every ear in the world, who will you inspire? When your money can travel faster and further, who will it reach? When you can tell a story in every language, which one will you tell? When you don't need permission to turn your dreams into reality, you go for it. Whatever it is, wherever it is, go. And when you think you've reached your limit, we'll keep you going. Let's go.
Feel the perky burst from your toes to your face. You gotta
take perk now, perk here today. Say oh, 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 oh. You gotta take perk now, perk here today. Say oh, 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 oh. You gotta take perk now, perk here today. Say oh, 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 oh. You gotta take perk now, perk here today.
Perk up anywhere, even at home, with a rich, milky taste